Good afternoon, everybody. You're listening to Lake Stevens Vikings Varsity Baseball. My name is Payne Patchett, here for game number 3 of the 2018 Varsity Baseball season between the Lake Stevens Vikings and the Meadowdale Mavericks. The Vikings playing their first true road game since they played a couple of days ago as the road team at home against the Marysville-Pilchuck Tomahawks, to which they lost in a shootout 16-11. While the Meadowdale Mavericks are coming off a not so pretty good season, finishing with a record of 8-11. But with a couple of freshmen in their lineup, they are aiming to be the dark horse in the Wesco 3A South Division. The starting pitchers for both teams: Lake Stevens starting Christian Lapierre for the first time in his varsity career, while Meadowdale will be starting number 5, Tommy Dimmick. With more information to come, we'll be right back, and when we come back at the top of the first inning, we will announce the lineups for both teams, and Lake Stevens will be coming up to the plate against the righty Tommy Dimmick. We are now back here for the top of the first inning. And the first pitch from the starting pitcher for Meadowdale, number 5, Tommy Dimmick, to Ben Pizer. The left fielder will be a strike one looking. Ben Pizer, number 11, coming into this game 4 for 6 on the year. And the 0-1 pitch is low for a ball one. The lineup for the 0-1 Lake Stevens Vikings: the left fielder Ben Pizer, number 21 Christian Lapierre is the number 2 hitter. He is also the starting pitcher for the Vikings. Next one, a ground ball. It gets off of the leg of the pitcher Dimmick. It gets into the glove of the shortstop Will Schaefer, who throws to first, and it'll be a 1-6-3 for out number 1. And a lucky out there for Meadowdale. There's a ball, it hits off the leg of the starting pitcher, Tommy Dimmick, on the first at-bat. It is fielded by what I presume to be the shortstop, Will Schaefer, and here comes the assistant coach, Alan Paves, for Meadowdale to look at Tommy Dimmick already in the top of the first inning. Again, the lineup for Lake Stevens: Ben Pizer, the starting pitcher, Christian Lapierre, and the third baseman, Connor Bardew, is the number 3 hitter. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Will Wentz. The number 5 hitter, once again, as the designated hitter, is number 14, Aaron Lampinen, who is hitting this time not for the pitcher, but for the second baseman, number 2, Braden Miller. The number 6 hitter is the right fielder, Tanner Lind. The number 7 hitter is the shortstop, sophomore Hunter Zalesko. The number 8 hitter is the center fielder, Bryce Mefford. And the number 9 hitter is the catcher, number 3, Tommy Lindgren, who is making his first varsity start, playing for Trey Long, who is not playing in today's game due to a personal matter. The reserves for Lake Stevens are Theron Perkins, Justin Troya, Jacob Gordon, Alec Ibachuan, Tate Brust, and Ethan Jansen, with Devin McWaters making his first appearance in a varsity uniform. The first pitch from Dimmick to Christian Lapierre, swing and a miss, strike one. And Dimmick, looks like he is all right. The 0-1 pitch right down the middle for a strike two. Looking defensively for Meadowdale, the starting pitcher is Tommy Dimmick. And behind the plate is Johnny Kier. It is Johnny, Johnnny. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. The ball gets past the catcher, Johnny Kier, and the ball gets past the first baseman, Anthony Toy. Lapierre gets the second on the error. It took Christian a couple of seconds. It took Christian a couple of seconds to realize that the ball got past a catcher. He gets to first. The catcher, Johnny Kier, makes an errant throw to Anthony Toyne, who is the first baseman, and Lapierre goes to second base and is replaced by Theron Perkins, who will be the pinch runner, and the Vikings have a runner in scoring position. The next batter is number 8, Connor Bardew, the starting third baseman. He is 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs this year through 1.5 games. First pitch, strike 1 looking. The infield for Meadowdale, the first baseman, Anthony Toyne, the second baseman, Cutter Boucher, the shortstop, Will Schaefer, and the third baseman, Cole Nelson. The 0-1. Upstairs, ball 1. And the outfield at left field is Mason Kim. At center field is Parker Cumberland. And at right field is Mason Vaughn. Dimmick looking over at second base. The windup and the throw. Upstairs, ball 2. And Lake Stevens playing against the Meadowdale Mavericks for the first time in 6 seasons. It's the first time at Meadowdale High School for even longer. Runner goes. Kier throws. Runner gets to third, and it gets past the third baseman, Cole Nelson. LaPierre throwing home. LaPierre going home. The throw goes over the catcher's head, and the Vikings will score on 2 errors. A stolen base for Theron Perkins. It'll be a stolen base for Theron Perkins from second to third, and it'll be another error for the catcher, Johnny Kier, and the Vikings have an early 1-0 lead. That pitch is a strike. It was strike 2. And the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, it's a 1-hopper. And it'll be a full count, 3-2 on the third batter. So far, Meadowdale not getting their way here, and they're not even up the bat yet. And the payoff pitch from Dimmick, fly ball. This one going in foul territory. It is Anthony Toyne running for it, along with the second baseman Boucher and the right fielder Vaughn, and they are not able to get it. And the payoff pitch, low for a ball 4. Connor, he was already ready to go to first base before that pitch even hit the ground. It'll be a 1-out walk, and Bardou is at first base. It brings up the next batter, which is the first baseman, number 34, the big man, Will Wentz. In Wednesday's game against Marysville Pilchuck, he was 3 for 5 with a double, a run scored, and 3 RBIs. He has 3 ribbies so far. Those are his only 3 RBIs this season. And the first pitch by Tommy Dimmick. It'll be a ball 1. It just hits the outside part of the strike zone. Dimmick looking over at first base. Throw to first. Not in time to get Connor. And from pole to pole, from Meadowdale High School for their baseball field at left field is clocked in at 310 feet. At right field, it's 315 feet. Next one, a fly ball. This one's out for a foul ball. Bringing the count down to 1-1. And it is unclear how far it is from home plate it is for center field, as there's no number, just black netting that goes from left center to right center, which I presume is to keep the ball in play. Dimmick, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Connor going back to first base. And for Lake Stevens, both their coaches is Josh for throw it back to first, not in time to get Connor. Both coaches for Lake Stevens that have arrived with the team is Josh White, the manager who's currently in first base, and Jan Novak, the assistant coach who's currently the third base coach. Throw to first, not in time. Connor didn't even try. That ball, an errant throw by the pitcher Dimmick that Anthony Toyne almost didn't get. And Josh White moving out of the way. And this one will be an errant throw. Connor going to second base. And the ball will hit the wooden backstop, will go up in the air. It'll be a ball 2 and a wild pitch for Tommy Dimmick as Connor Bardou will move to second. The count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch by Dimmick, hard hit ball. This one will go out for a foul ball. Will Wentz is still fighting in this at bat. And it's like compared to the past few days earlier this week, this one here is fairly sunny, partly cloudy with 52 degrees here at first pitch. 2-2 swing and a missed, strike 3. Dimmick gets him swinging, and that's the second out. Brings up the next batter, the designated hitter, number 14, Aaron Lampinen. He is 3 for 5 with also 3 RBIs on the year. He was 2 for 3 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He was walked in the 3rd inning against Marysville Pilchuck and got out in a rundown. First pitch to strike 1 looking. And he hit a single in the 7th inning to start off the 7th inning. And Tanner Lind pinch ran for him, and Tanner later scored. Next pitch, strike 2 looking. That one hit the outside part of the strike zone. And Tommy Dimmick, the 0-2, inside, ball 1. Lake Stevens wearing their road black uniforms. They have the black jerseys, the white pants, and the black hat with the purple letters chest high that say Vikings on it with the yellow background. And the numbers are also purple numbers with yellow background. The 1-2 pitch outside for a ball 2. All for Meadowdale. They're wearing the baby blue tops with the white pants and the dark blue cap with a blue M, with the baby blue letter M on the hat. And Meadowdale, they have the word Mavericks above their number in the back of the jersey. And the throw to second, there's a miscommunication between the pitcher, Tommy Dimmick, and the shortstop, Will Schaefer. He was not anywhere near second base, but instead Dimmick threw to him, and Barty was able to get back safely. Dimmick the first pitch. Dimmick the next pitch. Ball 3 low. Now, Meadowdale's starting to realize, especially Tommy Dimmick, that this team is a team that steals bases. So they're throwing to first and looking at second a lot. Next pitch, payoff pitch. It will be a ball 4. It was a turnaround at bat. It looked like it would be the end of the inning for Meadowdale, but instead, after an 0-2 count, Tommy Dimmick walks Aaron Lampinen. There are runners on first and second for the right fielder, Tanner Lind. Timeout by Meadowdale. Johnny Kier going to the mound to talk to Tommy Dimmick. Tanner Lind, he is 0 for 2 on the year. He's trying to get his first hit. It was as he started the first game against Arlington. He did not start the second game against Marysville Pilchuck, although he was the pinch runner. He was, as of right now, because in a way the game is still going on against Arlington, he is 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out to the shortstop against Arlington and was the pinch runner for a couple of batters against Marysville Pilchuck. Dimmick looking over at second. The first pitch, tries bunting for it, goes low for a ball 1. He was the pinch runner for Trey Long and Aaron Lampinen. Dimmick fake throws it to second base, moving him back to second. He's not even looking at Aaron at first base. And the pitch, ground ball. This goes to the second baseman, Cutter Boucher, who tosses it to the shortstop, Will Schaefer, to get Lampinen out of second base, and that will end the inning. Tanner Lind hitting a fielder's choice, and it will end the inning and the top of the first inning. No runs on no hits, 2 errors, and 2 runners left on. Lake Stevens gets an early 1-0 lead as Christian Lapierre makes his first varsity start against Meadowdale here at the bottom of the first inning. We are now back. It is the bottom of the first inning. Lake Stevens taking an early 0 lead. Meadowdale coming up to the plate for the first time this season, and they'll be facing off against Christian Lapierre, who is making his first varsity start for the Lake Stevens Vikings against the shortstop Will Schaefer. First pitch, strike 1, looking right down the middle. Will Schaefer, he is not only a pretty decent baseball player for Meadowdale, he's also a star football player for the football team. And the 0-1 pitch goes outside and gets past the catcher Tommy Lindgren for a ball 1. Lineup for Bill Hummel's Meadowdale Mavericks. It is Will Schaefer, the center fielder Parker Cumberland, one of 2 freshmen on the varsity team, and also in the lineup. The 1-1, it gets off the glove of the shortstop, Hunter Zalesko, and that will be a leadoff single as Zalesko, he did not realize how quick that ball was getting to him. And it'll be a leadoff single for Will Schaefer to start off the bottom of the first. As the ball, it was a line shot straight to the shortstop. He was ducking down, trying to get the ball. It'll end in a leadoff single. First pitch to the freshman Parker Cumberland. He'll go low for a ball one as he was trying to bunt for it. LaPierre looking over at first base. It is Cutter Boucher, the second baseman. The sophomore second baseman at the number 3 spot. Tommy Dimmick at the cleanup position. The 1-0 pitch outside for a ball 2. The right fielder Mason Vaughn at the 9 spot. The second freshman on the varsity team, Cole Nelson, at the 6 spot. The 2-0 pitch low for a ball 3. The 7 hitter, first baseman Anthony Toyne. The number 8 hitter is the left fielder Mason Kim, and the 9 hitter is the catcher Johnny Kerr. And the 3-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike 1 to the southpaw Parker Cumberland. The timeout, Will Wentz. Picking up a baseball on the infield. It looks like it was tossed there. Everything is back to order. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. The reserves for Meadowdale are Aaron Chester, Nolan Eskew, Andrew Mitchell, Danny Pearl, Ethan Christensen, Caleb Berry, and Nate Monias. And the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lindgren, he is going to try and throw to first, and he'll not be in time. Lindgren will not throw to third base. And now they're saying that he is out.
First base is occupied, coach.
And now they're saying that he is out. And he'll strike out swinging as Will Schaefer will move to second base on the wild pitch by LaPierre. It'll be the first out of the bottom of the first. Meadowdale with the game-tying run at scoring position for Cutter Boucher, the second baseman. The first pitch, low and inside for ball 1. The head coach for Meadowdale, Bill Hummel, with assistant coaches Alan Paves, Brett Warner, and Roger O'Neill, with volunteers Bob Dixon, Philip Grossenbacher, and Dave Kuiper. LaPierre, the 1-0 pitch. And strike 1, looking a fairly late call by the home plate umpire, but it goes towards Lake Stevens' way. Strike 1. On a very sunny afternoon here on Friday, March 16th, 2018. A couple days after Lake Stevens' last game. LaPierre looking over at second and will not throw. LaPierre tries to throw to second. No one is at the bag. And Schaefer will go in safely. Meadowdale, they did not finish their season off pretty well. They finished with a losing record of 8 wins and 11 losses last season. The pitch. Strike 2 looking. A nice pitch by LaPierre there. It was 8 wins and 11 losses. They were 7-10 in the Wesco 3A South Division, and were the final possible. They were the final possible seed in the division. And the 1-2 pitch, it goes inside for a ball 2. And Meadowdale, they were the final possible playoff seed in the Wesco 3A South Division, and they ended up playing the final possible seed in the Wesco 3A North Division, Stanwood. And the 2-2 pitch, it'll once again go inside, and this time it will hit Cutter Boucher, and there'll be runners on first and second base with 1 out. Timeout by Lake Stevens. Josh White going on to the mound to talk to LaPierre, along with the catcher Tommy Lindgren, third baseman Connor Bardu, and the shortstop Hunter Zalesko. And Meadowdale, they had to play, because they were the final possible playoff seed in the Wesco 3A South Division, they had to play the final possible playoff seed in the Wesco 3A North Division, which in this case was Stanwood, in a winner go home game to play in the bracket. Meadowdale lost that game 4-3 at home here at Meadowdale High School against Stanwood, and that ended their year. Now these two teams, they were actually supposed to play last season, but can't because of rain, and Lake Stevens had to play another game, and Meadowdale didn't play another game at all. We are now back into action as the starting pitcher Tommy Dimmick low for a ball one, and the ball will get past the catcher Tommy Lindgren, and it'll be a wild pitch as runners will move to second and third. As Cutter Boucher will move to second base, Will Schaefer moving to third. And Meadowdale is threatening to get some runs on the board. Next pitch, strike one looking. And the 1-1. Swing and a foul tip. So it'll be a swing, a foul tip for strike two, a 1 ball and 2 strikes. Meadowdale, even though they didn't play that well, they also had a few players on the that had postseason honors in the Wesco 3A South team, and the one player that's playing right now is Will Schaefer. This one deep to center field. Medford going back to get it. Medford, he'll hit the netting. 1 run's going to score. Here comes another one, and Tommy Dimmick will go to second on a 2-run double by the starting pitcher Tommy Dimmick. That went over Bryce Medford's head. It hits the netting in dead center field, and Meadowdale gets a 2-1 lead. And there will be a pinch runner for Tommy Dimmick. That is number 10, Andrew Mitchell. So far now, this game is not going Lake Stevens' way as well. LaPierre looking over at second. And the windup and the throw. It gets past the catcher, Tommy Lindgren again. It'll be a ball 1 to the right fielder, Mason Vaughn. And in the Wesco 3A South postseason honors, Will Schaefer got first team infielder, along with a couple of seniors who graduated last year. It was Travis Hagan, who was a first-team catcher, and Halen Roberts, who was a first-team outfielder. And the 1-0. Fly ball. This one going into short left center field. Medford running to get it, and he will not get the ball. And it will be a bloop single. Bryce Medford coming in all the way from his center field position to try and get the ball, but instead it will be a 1-out bloop single for Mason Vaughn, the 3rd hit off of Christian LaPierre, and once again there are runners on first and second for the 3rd baseman Cole Nelson. And LaPierre, the first pitch, low for a ball 1. That was Travis Hagan and Halen Roberts. They were one of 2 of 6 seniors that graduated from the Meadowdale team last year. The 1-0, inside ball 2, ball gets away from Lindgren, runners stay. The other players, it was Jaden Stipik, who was another outfielder. It was Connor Moss, who was a pitcher and outfielder, and 2 other infielders, Marcus Ward and Hunter Schuss. LaPierre looking over at second. 2-0, hard hit ball. This one is leaning into left field, and that just barely gets foul. No, they're saying that it's fair. And no, the umpire is saying it looked like it hit the line. It went over the fence in left field. It hit the ground. They're checking to see if it was foul or not. If it was, Then Cole Nelson has to go back to home plate. If it was fair, then Meadowdale gets another run on the board, and Mason Vaughn goes to third, and Andrew Mitchell scores from second. They're looking at it. And now they're saying, now we have the home plate umpire talking with Bill Hummel, the manager from Meadowdale. Looks like they're gonna call this foul. You had both Andrew Mitchell and Mason Vaughn. They were running. Andrew Mitchell just walked the home plate. Mason Vaughn just ran like it was. He ran like he thought the ball was live. And Cole Nelson was just trotting over the second because he knew it looked like a ground rule double. It's a 2-0 count. Now, the call originally was a foul ball. And the umpires, they are talking about it. And now we have the infield umpire talking to the third base coach, Alan Paves of Meadowdale, who is saying that. He was also talking about it, and now they're going to say it's a. So now they're going to say. Now they're not even going to say it's a double. They're going to say it is a home run by Cole Nelson. It is a 3-run home run by Cole Nelson. Originally, it was a foul ball. I thought it hit the ground first. And then it jumped over the fence, which I didn't know how that would be logically possible. But again, there'll be 3 runs on the board. Meadowdale taking a 5-1 lead and a 3-run home run by the freshman Cole Nelson. Lake Stevens, even though they've played, this is their 3rd game this year, this is what they've been prone to do. They have been prone to hit. They get
10 feet foul. Standing right on the line. Wasn't even close. Get some work in right here.
The umpire said they couldn't see it. That's what they said. That's what they said. They could not see it.
No, it was 10 feet foul. Standing right on the baseline.
Oh, God. And now after the call and the pretty long conversation between Josh White and the home field umpire, we'll now go to our next batter, first baseman Anthony Toyne. Now, in my opinion, I thought that was a one-hopper, but apparently the ball was 10 feet in foul territory. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. I thought it was a double, and originally he called it foul. But the home plate umpire saying that he couldn't see the ball go in foul territory past the left field pole. I am not making this up. That is what the home plate umpire said. Josh White had a good 5-minute conversation with him. Next pitch, 1-2 ball. This one going in the left field. Ben Pizer going back. He is at the wall, and that will get off the fence. And Anthony Toyne has himself a stand-up double. And a timeout by Lake Stevens, Josh White. They're going to take LaPierre out of the game. They're going to put in number 6, Theron Perkins, to face the number 8 hitter, Mason Kim, with a runner on second base, 1 out. Meadowdale leading Lake Stevens by the score of 5-1. We are now back in the bottom of the first inning after Meadowdale scores 5 runs off of the starting pitcher, Christian LaPierre. Josh White is forced to taking one of his relievers, and that is number 6, Theron Perkins, making his first varsity appearance against the number 8 hitter, Mason Kim. The next pitch, a 1-hopper to the catcher, Tommy Lindgren, and Anthony Toyne stays at second base. And Theron, the 1-0. Just outside for a ball 2. Currently Christian Lapierre, an inning and a third, 5 hits, currently 5 earned runs, as he is also responsible for Toyne at second base. No walks and no strikeouts on 26 pitches. The 2-0 pitch, upstairs, ball 3. And Theron looking over the payoff pitch. Strike 1, looking right down the middle. Meadowdale, after this non-conference series, non-conference part of the season, they're going to be playing in a extremely tough Wesco 3A South Division, playing against teams such as Edmonds Woodway, who's coming off their first state trophy in school history, finished 4th place. And the 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. As well as Shorewood. And at times, Shorecrest could be that bad. That payoff pitch, a hard hit ball. Going in the right center field is the right fielder, Tanner Lynn, going for it. Toyne goes to third base. And the throw to third is not in time as Mason Kim flies out to the right fielder, Tanner Lynn. Anthony Toyne goes to third base. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the catcher, Johnny Kier. The first pitch by Theron, strike 1 right down the middle. And again, that's the thing that Lake Stevens, so far looking at this team, for now the 3rd game of the year, this is really what they're prone to, allowing big innings. They did it Wednesday against Marysville Pilchuck because they allowed 13 runs in the 2nd inning, and it looks like they might have to look at that early on. And the 0-1 pitch, it'll be a bloop single. It'll get over the head of Hunter Zalesko, the shortstop, and it'll be an RBI single for the catcher, Johnny Kier, and the Meadowdale is up 6-0. It'll be another pinch runner for the Mavs for the catcher. This time it is number 17, Ethan Christensen. And we will now go back to the top of the order. And we'll now go back to the top of the order with Will Schaefer, who hit a 1-1 pitch for a single and scored. They are on 2 wild pitches. Throw to first, not in time. And Christian Lapierre will officially finish his outing. He has 6 earned runs in his first varsity start. Theron, first pitch will go upstairs and outside for a ball 1. And the 1-0 hard hit ball. This one going into center field. It is Bryce Mefford, a liner straight to him, and that will end the inning. On 10 batters, it is 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. Meadowdale exploding with 6 runs on the board, highlighted by a 3-run, maybe kind of sort of home run by Cole Nelson. Meadowdale with a 6-1 lead as we go into the top of the 2nd inning. Tommy Dimmick it looks like it's in a perfect opportunity to get a little comfortable on the mound, especially with a 5-run lead as we go into the top of the second inning. We are now back into the top of the second inning. Meadowdale exploding with 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning after trailing 1-0 to Lake Stevens. But for the past few years, if you've seen Lake Stevens for the past few years, you know that they're an offensive team first. Hunter Zalesko with a bunt single on the first pitch that falls in fair territory and rolls straight to the third baseman Cole Nelson to start off the top of the second inning. And this is exactly what I mean right here. If you've seen Lake Stevens for the past few years, they're always offense first. As it starts off with a bunt single to lead off the top of the second inning. There comes Bryce Mefford. First pitch will go outside for a ball 1. Bryce Mefford, he started Wednesday's game against Marysville Pilchuck. He was 0 for 2. It was walked twice and got a run to his name. He is 0 for 2. Dimmick taking a while, staying in the same position. There's a timeout by Mefford. It gives him the perfect time to do that. Dimmick staying in that position for the past, I gotta say, for a good 5 to 6 seconds, trying to break the batter's patience there. Tommy Dimmick, throw to first, not in time, barely. Not in time, barely to get Hunter at first. And the pitch, low for a ball 2. And Meadowdale, they're already coming prepared. 2-0. Strike 1 looking. Throw to first, not in time to get Zalesko. Looks like it is number 20, Nate Monias. They're warming him up in the bullpen for Meadowdale. Throw to first, not in time. Not in time. Hunter Zalesko getting into a few close calls over at first base. But that is one of Lake Stevens' key qualities right there, as that is that can also steal bags as well. The 2-1 pitch right down the middle, strike 2 looking. Lake Stevens again coming off an incredible season last year. They finished with a record of 14-10, ended up winning the Westco title, defying all odds. Throw to first, not in time, and for the either fourth or fifth time, they're trying to get Zalesko at first base. The throw to first. Dimmick trying to break Zalesko's patience there, and the dugout is ecstatic about it. The dugout is ecstatic over the fact that Tommy Dimmick keeps throwing to first. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Full count, 3-2. He's throwing the first so much he's completely forgetting about what his main objective. And the umpire is warning the Lake Stevens dugout because the umpire thinks that the players are yelling at the pitcher. Josh White saying that they're cheering. And a timeout by Bryce. That's also something Lake Stevens has done pretty good with, especially in the past couple of years. They're really good chemistry-wise, and that's one of the main qualities that got them through a Westco title last year, and even the past few seasons when they did pretty good. And Dimmick stepping off the mound. He is shaken up out there. You can tell. He's trying his best to stay in that position as much as he can, but he's getting shaken up. He threw 27 pitches in the first inning. He doesn't look like he's recovering from it. Payoff pitch. Throw to second. Not in time to get Zalesko. A stolen base for Hunter. And it'll be the third strikeout for Tommy Dimmick. And it'll be the first out of the top of the second inning. It'll bring up the catcher Tommy Lindgren. Timeout by Meadowdale. As the catcher Johnny Kier, the shortstop Will Schaefer, and the first baseman and Anthony Toyne going over to the mound. before he faces Tommy Lindgren in his first varsity at-bat. He has a chance to knock another one on the board for the Vikings. Tommy Lindgren again playing for Trey Long, who is not playing today due to a family matter. Dimmick the first pitch. As a strike one looking. A nice first pitch by Tommy Dimmick. He's looking over at second, the pitch. Fly ball, that's a foul, and it hits the netting. And Dimmick working ahead of the count against Lindgren, the windup. Swing and a miss, strike three. That is strikeout number 4. It'll bring us back to the top of the lineup for Ben Pizer. The last time he was up, he hit a liner off of the leg of the pitcher, Tommy Dimmick. It is fielded by the shortstop, Will Schaefer, and thrown the first in time for the first out of the top of the first inning. And after that, he actually got checked out before anything bad could happen. First pitch, strike one looking. And Dimmick looking over at second. Fakes throw to second base. As Hunter is able to get back to second base in time. That is the first stolen base. That one is a hard hit ball. That one going in foul territory, and the third baseman is able to get it. And the third baseman, Cole Nelson, looked like he had it. Will Schaefer calling him off, saying that he had it. And along with the left fielder, Mason Kim, no one was able to get the ball in foul territory in left field, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Tommy Dimmick with a chance to strike out the side here as he is ahead on the count. And the 0-2 pitch. Zalesko goes. Runner goes. And he goes back to second and is outside for a ball 1. And Dimmick, the 1-2. Chopper. This goes to the first baseman, Toyn, and it gets past the glove. Come on! It gets off the glove of the first baseman, Anthony Toyn. It's fielded by the second baseman, Cutter Boucher, who tosses it to first. And another questionable call by the umpiring crew here today at Meadowdale High School that'll end the top of the second inning. Oh, geez, that's going to be hard to come back from. And it'll be the end of the top of the second inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. Still 6-1 Meadowdale as we go into the bottom of the second inning. We are now back in the bottom of the second inning. Meadowdale attempting to increase their 5-run lead on Lake Stevens off of the relief pitcher Theron Perkins, starting with the number 2 hitter Parker Cumberland, who struck out swinging on his last time up in front of Christian LaPierre.
Cut anything off to that side. Cut it off.
And Theron the first pitch. Strike 1 looking. And the 0-1, low for a ball 1. And Theron, the windup 1-1, low for a ball 2, low and inside.
They live down there.
And Theron, the windup, the 2-1. That is low in the bottom part of the strike zone, ball 3. And Cumberland ahead of the count of the first pitch, or the first batter. On the first at bat, next pitch a foul chopper that goes towards the Lake Stevens dugout and into the glove of the first baseman Will Wentz for a foul ball for a full count. It'll be a 2-3-4 of the center fielder Parker Cumberland, the second baseman Cutter Boucher, and the pitcher Tommy Dimmick. And the windup, the payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Cumberland strikes out for the second time this afternoon. It'll be the first out of the second inning. Brings up the second baseman Cutter Boucher, who got hit on the side on a 2-2 pitch and later scored on the 2-run double by Dimmick. The windup by Theron. And the top part of the strike zone, strike 1 looking. And Theron stepping off the mound, currently going from right field to left field. We have a plane from the nearby Boeing facility passing through. It is just ginormous. Looks like a Boeing 777 with the UPS logo on the fin of the back of the plane, as the Boeing facility is just a short drive away from here in Linwood. And the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2.
But the demonstration farm was also right in that area. It was right off the road. That was the idea. Being able to bring people out from town because they looked at this property and they sold the property like for $5 a month. Which is a lot of money then to...
And Theron, the windup in the 0-2, and that will hit as Boucher is hit again around the same spot that LaPierre hit him back in the first inning. And now bring up Tommy Dimmick, who hit a 1-2 pitch in the dead center field over the head of the center fielder Bryce Mefford into the black netting. That scored Will Schaefer and Cutter Boucher. To give Meadowdale the lead early in the game. First pitch, one hopper to Lindgren, as it takes the catcher Lindgren a while to find the ball, and Boucher will have to stay at second base, so it'll be a ball 1. Perkin looking over at first, throws to first and is not in time.
And this part of that Heritage Park. Oh, okay. And it's the visitor center. So if you're heading for Linwood, follow the sign of the visitor center. And you'll come right there.
Theron looking over at first base again towards Cutter. And the first pitch. First pitch is a foul tip. It hits the fence. It shoots right back at Theron, back on the mound. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. I just got to say this right here. One thing that, this is the first time that I've ever been at Meadowdale High School, especially at their baseball field, and one thing that just hits me about the baseball field was that it has a different feel to other baseball fields that I've been to and other baseball fields that the team has played for. It has this feel of, that you're at home. The 1-1, runner goes. Lindgren throws to second base. Does he get him? No, he does not. It'll be a stand-up stolen base for Cutter. And it'll be ball 2, 2-1. And it has that feel to it, like it's almost like a little league feel. You have the dugouts made of wood. You have the field, which is made of grass, and the 3-1 pitch will go outside for a ball 4, and Tommy Dimmick will go to first base. There'll be runners on first and second for Mason Vaughn, who hit a 1-0 pitch for a single back in the first inning, and once again Andrew Mitchell will be pinch running for Tommy. You have the natural baseball feel. You have the wooden dugouts. You have the bullpen. You have the bullpens, which is right next to the dugout, and then you have the batting cages, which is right next to the bullpen. So they're all right next to each other. And the next batter, the first pitch from Theron to the right fielder Mason Vaughn. Strike one looking. And right behind the Lake Stevens dugout is, it's almost like a trail, like a community trail. But it looks like there are trails like that similar to what they have over at Lake Stevens High School. I assume they could be used as like a community trail or a local trail. And the 0-1 pitch, a nice curveball by Theron. Oh no, it was a slider. A nice slider by Theron Perkins. I've seen it during practice and during tryouts that Theron has a nasty slider, and he is not afraid to use it. Theron, the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the nasty slider again. And now go for the second out. It'll bring up the man of the hour, Cole Nelson. He had a 3-run, not home run, in the first inning. That was actually that actually hit foul territory. Approximately about 10 feet in foul territory, but the umpire called a home run anyway. First pitch, he'll go for a ball 1, and it'll be a wild pitch, as there are runners on second and third again for Cole Nelson on the mound. He hit a 2-0 pitch over the left field fence. Whether it was foul or fair is up for debate. And Theron Perkins, the 1-0. Hard hit ball. That is a fly ball out for a foul. And it's on top of the dugout. Or a foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. And I was able to retrieve the foul ball. With the 1-1 pitch by Theron, outside ball 2. It's right here.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
That's where you see this high density apartments because
Theron getting the sign from the catcher Lindgren, the windup, the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And now Cole Nelson, even though he had a hold of Christian LaPierre, there's a pretty good chance if he is able to get a hold of Theron Perkins, this might be the next best player in not just Wesco baseball, but in the state for this freshman, Cole Nelson. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs and outside, ball 3, full count. Meadowdale threatening to score again. They have not scored in this inning. And now we have Theron Perkins facing a full count to Cole Nelson. The pitch from Perkins. Strike 3 called right down the middle, and it ends the threat. No runs on no hits. No errors and 2 runners left on as Theron strikes out the side in the bottom of the second inning. It is still a 6-1 Maverick lead. Lake Stevens, they have all game to try this out. They have all game to try and come back. Theron with 3 strikeouts. Tommy Dimmick coming back up to the mound. It's a 2-3-4 of LaPierre, Bardou, and Will Wentz in the top of the third inning. 6-1 Meadowdale. And we are now back. We are at the top of the third inning. Theron Perkins, he was able to strike out the side and end the jam for against Meadowdale, against their offense, but will now have to face their defense. Whoa. Will now have to face their defense as he will be pinch hitting for Christian LaPierre at the number 2 spot. Their first pitch, a foul tip. Next pitch, a strike 2 low. This one, the next one, a swing and a miss, strike 3. It gets off the helmet of Johnny Kierg. It darts straight back to the pitcher who throws to the first. And it will be in time for the first out of the 3rd inning. It'll be strikeout number 5 for Tommy Dimmick, and it brings up Connor Bardou, who was walked on a full count, and a wild pitch moved him to second. And with a new rule
we'll take that every day.
in the WIAA, if there's someone who commits a balk with no one on base, that is a ball, so it is a legal pitched ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, it goes inside, so it's a ball 2. The 2-0 pitch goes right down the middle for a strike 1 looking. And Tommy, the 2-1 pitch. One hopper gets away from the catcher, Johnny Kerr, for ball 3. And the 3-1 pitch, low and outside for a ball 4, and Connor Bardou is walked again. And it brings up the next batter, Will Wentz, the first baseman. He struck out swinging on a 2-2 count his last time up.
What's the move?
And Dimmick, the first pitch. A hard hit ball. This one going over the glove of the shortstop, Will Schaefer. And there'll be runners on first and second with 1 out. And it'll bring up the next batter, Aaron Lampinen, who was also walked on a full count. In that at-bat, it was switched from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count, and it was later walked. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1.
Let's go. I'm Dave. Here we go, kid. Go, Lappy. I'm Dave.
Dimmick looking over at second, the 1-0, foul tip. Another thing that I think is pretty cool and has a little more than a home feel. If you look behind, is right behind home plate. When the team got to the field, it almost looked like a storage shed. There was a bunch of supplies in there. There was a bunch of stuff in there. But during the game, it turns into a place where you can buy coffee. And I think it's pretty cool. The 1-1 pitch, a 1 hopper to Kerr, and the runners will stay. And compared to other baseball fields around this area, you have, I'm counting Lake Stevens, you have, Mount Lake Terrace, where they're all AstroTurf, and they're all, meant to keep the players and fans satisfied. This one just brings it back to the old days, a little blast of the past. And here is Aaron Lampinen, who tries bunting for it. It's a pop fly that falls right in front of the Meadowdale dugout past the third base side. That'll be a strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tommy Dimmick, who threw for 4 balls and 10 strikes in the second inning, 14 pitches total, with a total of 41 pitches. As Tommy Dimmick is ahead of the count on Aaron Lampinen. Looks over at second, throws to second, and gets Connor at second base. Tommy gets a pump fake on Connor and then throws a second time and is able to get him. as he throws to the shortstop Will Schaefer, and that's the second out. Now Tommy Dimmick ahead on the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, and has a chance to end the top of the 3rd inning. And the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and that'll be the end of the top of the 3rd inning. There will be no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. It is still a 6-1 Meadowdale lead as Theron Perkins comes back onto the mound in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. As he'll be facing a 7-8-9 batting order of Anthony Toyne, Mason Kim, and Johnny Kier. We are now back in the bottom of the 3rd inning here from Meadowdale High School. Theron Perkins back on the mound as he'll be facing the first baseman Anthony Toyne, the number 7 hitter, who hit a double into left field that was almost caught by Ben Pizer, and that was the end of the line for Christian LaPierre. First pitch, a strike 1 looking.
Pizer, your way!
And Theron, the 0-1, a hard hit ball going to left field. Short left field is Pizer, and it'll be a 1-hopper for a leadoff single. As Toyne is now 2 for 2 on the afternoon, it brings out the left fielder Mason Kim, who hit a payoff pitch to right field, moving Toyne to 3rd base after he hit the double back in the 1st inning. And Theron, the first pitch. Strike 1 right down the middle. And Theron looking over at first base towards Toyne, the 0-1. A slow blooper. This one will be another 1-hopper. This one getting past Ben Pizer. And it'll be another 1-hop single. It'll be another bloop single to left field for runners on 1st and 2nd. And now we'll bring up the number 9 hitter, the the catcher, Johnny Kier, number 4, got the numbers mixed up, as he hit an RBI single over the head of the shortstop, Hunter Zalesko. That scored Anthony Toyne from 3rd. First pitch is a bunt. It's caught by Theron Perkins, and an amazing athletic play by the pitcher, Theron Perkins. He was trying to bunt for it, and Theron left as high as he could to try and get that one. He was able to get it. The runners stay, and that would have been disastrous if he didn't get that one. At least the best case scenario, if he didn't catch it, would have been a double play. Brings up back to the top of the order to Will Schaefer, who is 1 for 2. Looks over at second. Yeah, timeout by Schaefer before Theron was able to throw the baseball. And for the Wesco 3A South, it looks like that Meadowdale is in the same situation as Lake Stevens, where they had to play a number of non-conference games as well. The first pitch, low, gets past Lindgren. Runners go to 3rd and 2nd. It'll be a wild pitch. And the first pitch is a ball 1. The next game for the Lake Stevens Vikings is in 5 days, so that is Wednesday, March 21st, 2018. They're going to play on the road at Sherman Anderson Field, another beautiful natural field, against the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. They're going to play at home against Glacier Peak on the 23rd and Oak Harbor on the 27th. And the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1, in and out of the glove of the catcher Lindgren. No runners. Runners do not advance. They will play against a They'll play against Mount Vernon and Glacier Peak to end their 4A campaign, and they'll play their next 3 games against 3A North teams, Oak Harbor at home and Everett and Snohomish on the road. And the 1-1 outside for a ball 2. Theron getting the sign from Lindgren. And the 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ball. This one going in the right field. Tanner running back to get it. It's in foul territory, and it is a foul ball.
The railroad had been in that area since 1910. That's when they're really expanded.
And that will make Theron ahead of the count here against the leadoff hitter Schaefer. Against the senior shortstop. The 2-2. Hard hit ball. That is lined foul and almost hits the assistant coach, Alan Paves, at third base. Will Schaefer, his other 2 at-bats were both in the first inning. He hit a single past the glove of the shortstop Hunter Zalesko. He later scored on the RBI double by Tommy Dimmick later in that inning, and then he flew out to the center fielder Bryce Mefford to end that 6-run first inning. As a Meadowdale player is able to get the foul ball back, it doesn't look like they have enough baseballs. As for the ballpark, in deep center, it's in center field, and in right field is the view of Meadowdale High School, which is a very beautiful structure. It was renovated pretty recently. Let's try and get that more modern field. The 2-2 pitch, another line shot around the same area as the last foul ball hit. And once again, almost hits the third base coach, Alan Paves. There's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Theron, the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. This gets to Zalesko, gets in and out of the glove. He is not able to throw it, and a run will score. There will be an error on the shortstop, Hunter Zalesko, and another run will score. Mason Kim will move to third base. It is now 7-1 Meadowdale. And it'll look like that will be it for Theron Perkins. As
Hey, Blue.
looks like he'll be replacing Braden Miller at second base, and it'll be replaced by Jacob Gordon. And we'll take a quick break as we are in the bottom of the third inning. Meadowdale, they get another run on the board. They are up 7-1 over Lake Stevens as the number 2 hitter, Parker Cumberland, comes up as he'll be the first batter against Lake Stevens' new pitcher, Jacob Gordon. Now we are now back in the bottom of the third inning. Meadowdale now taking a 7-1 lead over Lake Stevens. The Vikings bring in a new pitcher, number 18, Jacob Gordon, who will be making his second appearance for the Vikings. And he'll be facing the number 2 hitter. Parker Cumberland. This one a fly ball. That'll go out for a foul ball. Jacob Gordon, he was one of 5 pitchers as that was threw for the Vikings against Arlington. He threw a third of an inning in that 5th inning that we could say for now is never ending because that inning is still going on. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Throw back to second. Will not be necessary as Will Schaefer stays at second. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Jacob Gordon, an inning and a third, no hits. As all 6 batters he faced in that 5th inning scored. Next pitch, line drive ball. This one going in the left field. Pizer This will go over the glove of Ben Pizer. One run's going to score. Here comes another one. The ball will be fielded by the shortstop Theron Perkins. It's a 2-run double for the southpaw Parker Cumberland. He was leaning for that pitch as he was trying to find one that was right for him. That looked like that's what he was trying to do in all 3 at-bats, and it looked like he found it, and he got 2 RBIs in the process, and it brings up the second baseman, Cutter Boucher. And so Theron Perkins, 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs to his name, and none of them have been earned. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. First pitch to Cutter Boucher is a ball. That'll be outside. Boucher is no official at bat. He got hit twice, has a stolen base, and scored a run. And Snake, the 0-1, and the 1-0, a foul tip. That'll go straight to the on-deck hitter, Tommy Dimmick. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch is outside for a ball 2. And the defensive changes as Theron Perkins will replace Hunter Zalesko at shortstop, and Hunter will replace Braden Miller at second base as Miller will go back to the dugout. Along with the pitcher change of Jacob Gordon to Theron. The 2-1 inside, ball 3. This guy has faced against 3 different pitchers, and they've all pitched inside against this guy. And fortunately for Cutter, a couple of those pitches actually hit him. Lake Stevens trying to minimize that problem. The 3-1 pitch, that is lined, and that's in the parking lot. It's a 1-hopper, and it hits a car that's in the parking lot over to Meadowdale bullpen. And it is now a full count, 3-2. Snake looking over at second, the payoff pitch, fly ball, and that is foul. And it'll be another foul ball. It just gets over the fence right near the Lake Stevens bleachers, and it'll be still a full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch, fly ball. This one is playable. This one in fair territory. Will Wentz, he almost has a collision with Cutter Boucher in the baseline, but is able to catch the ball, and that is the second out of the 3rd inning. And it'll bring up the pitcher, Tommy Dimmick, who hit a 2-run double and was walked in the 2nd inning. And Snake, the first pitch to Dimmick, swing and a miss, strike 3. As Theron Perkins, 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 unearned runs, 1 walk, and 3 Ks in 48 pitches. Next one, fly ball. That one is out for a foul ball. For no balls and 2 strikes.
Have an idea, Jake. 0-2. Have an idea.
As Dimmick trying to continue the tear that many of these Meadowdale batters are currently going through in these first 2 2/3 innings. That's just turned into this 8-run lead. And the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that will end the 3rd inning. It will be 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on. Meadowdale now increasing their lead to 9-1 as we go into the top of the 4th inning. Tommy Dimmick his night is done, as there'll be a new pitcher for the Meadowdale Mavericks. And if you've seen high school baseball enough, you'll either mean that this might mean either something really good or something really bad for the Meadowdale Mavericks. It'll be number 20, Nate Monia, a fellow senior. He'll be facing a 6-7-8 of Tanner Lynn, Hunter Zalesko, and Bryce Mefford in the top of the fourth, 9-1 Mavs. We are now back. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Meadowdale will be bringing up a new pitcher. It'll be number 20, Nate Monias, who is one of the many seniors on this Meadowdale team. The first pitch by Monias to Tanner Lind will be a bunt in the first base side. Picked up by Monias, tossed to first, and it'll be in time for out number 1. And that will bring up Hunter Zalesko, who hit a bunt single that landed in fair territory and rolled right next to the third base side for a leadoff single to no avail, as he was stranded at second base back in the second inning. And the first pitch by Monias, foul tip. Tommy Dimmick finishing his night, 3 innings, 2 hits, has an unearned run back in the first inning, walking 3 and striking out 6. He has 65 on 65 pitches. And Monias, the 0-1, a hard hit ball. That one going straight to the shortstop, Will Schaefer, as it was a slow liner. And that'll be the second out of the fourth inning. It brings up the number 8 hitter, the center fielder, Bryce Mefford. And Nate, the first pitch, outside for a ball 1. Nate, one of 9 seniors on this Meadowdale team. The 1-0 pitch under the strike zone, ball 2. Is Kim, Schaefer, Kier, Dimmick, Mitchell, Anthony Toyne, Nate Monias, and Travis Hagan, who are all seniors. Next pitch, a foul tip, hits straight into the helmet of Johnny Kier for 2 balls and 1 strike. Is another Meadowdale senior is Travis Hagan, who is listed on the official roster, although for Meadowdale's catcher, just like for Lake Stevens' catcher, is not able to play today. Two balls and 1 strike. Monias, the pitch, strike 2 looking. Monias going ahead on the count. And the 2-2 pitch by Monias, foul tip. Bryce fighting for this one. Unlike Meadowdale, Lake Stevens coming off a pretty successful season last year. The 2-2, a hard hit ball, that's foul. That goes into the parking lot, and that hits a car. Oh, it looks like Bryce is going to be paying for the damages for that one, and that falls into the parking lot. Bryce is laughing about it as he's stepping off the batter's box. Now, it's funny for everyone except for the person whose car just got hit. And we all know that. That's just common knowledge. When you go to a high school game, don't park right near the field. 2-2 pitch. This one will fall. A bloop single, and it gets away from the glove of the third baseman, Cole Nelson. He was diving for it and was mere feet away from making an incredible catch. But again, it will fall for a 2-out single, and that is Bryce Mefford's first hit of his varsity career. Now bring up the number 9 hitter, Tommy Lindgren, who struck out swinging on 3 pitches his last time up in front of Tommy Dimmick. The pitch from Nate. Hard hit ball, liner. This one, another slow liner straight to the shortstop, Will Schaefer. And that will end the top of the 4th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on. It is still a 9-1 Meadowdale lead over the Vikings. Snake Gordon coming back on the mound, as he'll be facing the middle of the order, 5, 6, 7, in the bottom of the 4th inning, 9-1 Meadowdale. And we are now back. We go into the bottom of the 4th inning. Meadowdale leading Lake Stevens by the score of 9-1. Snake Gordon back up on the mound. He'll be facing the number 5 hitter, Mason Vaughn, the right fielder, who is 1 for 2 with a single in the 1st inning and struck out swinging by Theron in the 2nd. Next pitch. First pitch is a liner. It's a lace right in the first base side. Vaughn's riding around 2nd. The throw to 2nd is in time, and he got him at 2nd. An amazing throw by the right fielder, Tanner Lynn, and that is the first out of the 4th inning. That ball was laced. That ball was laced near the first base line. Tanner Lynn picked it up and threw an absolute laser to 2nd base to get Mason Vaughn out at first base for the first out. Get him out at 2nd base for the first out. Brings up Cole Nelson, swing and a miss, strike 1. Cole Nelson currently, by controversial decision, Cole Nelson right now is the man of the hour for the game. He had a 3-run home run that blew this game wide open in the bottom of the 1st inning that the Lake Stevens coaches are saying the wet foul, and he struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. Next pitch, an 0-1 pitch. It'll be an off-speed pitch for a ball 1. And the 1-1, upstairs, ball 2. Across Westco baseball, there was also a few games that were played on Wednesday. First, it was a game that was moved from Tuesday. And the pitch, a ball that is playable, foul territory. Tommy Lindgren running after it. And it falls on top of the Meadowdale dugout, hits the top of it for 2 balls and 2 strikes. There were games that included Kamiak getting their first win of the year. They beat Shorecrest 3-2. There were games that not only were played on Wednesday, March 14th, but also on Thursday, March 15th, such as Jackson beating Marysville Getchell 12-2. And the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the 2nd out. It'll be the 2nd strikeout of the afternoon for Snake Gordon. It brings up Anthony Toyin, who is 2 for 2 with 2 hits and 2 runs. There were other games as well. Marysville Getchell losing by double-digit runs for the 2nd consecutive games. They go 0-2. First pitch is low for a ball 1. You have Glacier Peak getting their first win of the year as they beat in-city rival Snohomish 8-2 on the road. And you have Monroe beating Eastlake on the road 5-4. This one, a hard hit ball, a golf shot, left field, Pizer going back. That will go to the wall. It hits the fence and gets away from Pizer. Toyin, once again, his 2nd double of the afternoon. It's a stand-up double. Anthony Toyin, 3 for 3 with 2 doubles on the afternoon. On 3 different pitchers, and it brings up Mason Kim, the left fielder. And then back on Thursday, we also saw Mount Vernon get their first win of the year. They beat Stanwood by the final score of 8-2 behind the arm of Riley Olmsted. And the first pitch, low and outside for a ball 1 to Nate Monias, who will be a pinch hitting for Mason Kim.
You know what we put in our one line? We put those sound deals, those high-frequency sound deals with the 3 of them, and we haven't had a mouse on that.
And the 1-0 pitch by Snake inside, strike 1 looking.
I want to see what happens. The 5th one doesn't need 3, so I put.
And other games that are going on today, we have Bishop Blanchette, after playing at Monroe, will be playing at Mariner. We have Mount Lake Terrace traveling down to Snohomish to play Glacier Peak. We have Cascade playing at home against the Bothell Cougars. And Kamiak at 6 p.m. currently are down in Yakima to play West Valley. Next pitch, strike 2 looking. And this is where this is where I say Kamiak has the toughest non-conference schedule out of all the Wesco teams, because this starts a point where they play 2 games in 2 days in Yakima. And the 2-2 pitch, that's out for a foul ball. For a 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Kamiak Knights, they just lost a bunch of players. They're expected not to be that good in the conference in general. And if any high school baseball coach in Wesco knows that the non-conference play not only is to show how many games you could win, but also see who's good for what position. For Kamiak, this is really tough because you're playing against a few pretty good players. 2-2 pitch. The 1-2 pitch is low. And outside and in the dirt for a ball 2. And they'll be playing West Valley of Yakima at 6 p.m. on the road. But not only that, they're going to have to be playing again on Saturday, March 17th. Throw to second. Not in time as the ball gets away from the second baseman, Hunter Zalesko. He does not even touch the bag. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nate Monias. Games that are going on Saturday, Kamiak playing at AC Davis at 11 a.m. This is why I say it's tough. You play a 6 p.m. game at Yakima on one day, and then you have to play the next morning at Yakima too. Next pitch, a foul tip.
Get things cleaned out first. Yeah.
Which, it is beyond me what the process is for that, of whether if Kamiak they have to stay at a hotel or something, or if they have to go to Yakima, come back to Mukilteo, and then go back to Yakima. I really don't know, but regardless, it sounds like a pain to go through. Other games we have at 12 p.m. Monroe playing at home against Kent Meridian again. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw to first is in time for the strikeout, and that will end the 4th inning. It'll be no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. It's still a 9-1 Meadowdale lead as we go into the top of the 5th. Monias coming back up on the mound, facing the top of the order. It is Ben Pizer, Christian Lapierre, and Connor Bardou in the top of the 5th inning. And we are now back. We're at the top of the 5th inning. Meadowdale leading Lake Stevens by 8 runs. Lake Stevens trying to cut that lead as quick as they can at this point. We're now back at the top of the order. Nate Monias facing the top of the order for the first time, facing Ben Pizer. This one going into left center field as the ball will go straight to the center fielder, Parker Cumberland, for out number 1 on the first pitch. As Monias threw 2 balls and 9 strikes for 11 pitches in the 4th inning. And will be facing the number 2 batter, Theron Perkins. We'll be facing Theron Perkins, who is pinch hitting for Christian Lapierre. Struck out swing his last time up. First pitch is on the outside for a ball 1.
I like it a lot.
So other games on Saturday as well. Kent Meridian playing at Monroe. The 1-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike 1 looking. Jackson will be traveling on the road against a pretty interesting opponent. They're going to be playing on the road against Shadle Park at 2:30. The 1-1 pitch outside for a ball 2 to Theron Perkins. And then you have a couple of matchups that were really similar to last season. You have O'Day playing at Glacier Peak and Ballard traveling up north to play Mount Vernon. The 2-1 pitch to Monias, foul tip. Hits the netting, comes back for a strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Monias, the 2-2 pitch. Another foul tip, and it hits the netting. It's over there. Nope, it hit the netting. Yep. Yep. It hit the corner. It hit the corner.
Legit blew my mind. I had no idea how.
Now I saw it up there, hit the corner, went straight past first baseline. And the 2-2 pitch by Monias, another foul. This one might be playable. It's not playable. It's on top. It's going to land on top of the dugout. Oh. don't know why I just did that instead of going. 2-2 pitch, foul tip. As Theron fighting in the at-bat. For so far 6 pitches, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, ball 3. It's a full count, 3-2. There's a timeout by Meadowdale. Johnny Keir going to the mound to talk to Monias. The dugout's been going crazy this entire at-bat, and especially when they feel something's going to happen. This has been going on for the past few years. Oh, right. Sure. I just found this one. I don't know what to do with this one. No.
Thank you.
No problem. Free ball, I guess. As ever, I was trying to get the foul ball earlier that hit the top of the dugout. I found another one, too. It's pretty cool. Payoff pitch. Ground ball gets past Monias and into straight center field. And it'll be a one-out single for Theron Perkins as he officially won the battle. So that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, the third baseman Connor Bardou, who's walked twice this afternoon. And Monias, first pitch, a hard hit ball. That is laced foul past the third base line. And Theron was running for this one. This is where Lake Stevens, they start to get some momentum, but the question is, how much can they get? They're down by 8 runs. It's not impossible, but it is a pretty tough task for Lake Stevens. this part of the game, towards the second half, towards this part of the game. The 0-1 pitch by Monias, a hard hit ball, laced it, it's caught by the shortstop Will Schaefer, throw to first is not in time. Theron's gonna have to go to second, that goes back to the first baseman, and he's out at, no, he's not out at second. Theron Perkins gets a lucky break at second base. It's an amazing catch by the shortstop Will Schaefer. He throws to first to try and get Theron out. It gets past the first baseman. Theron thinks that the ball's at the wall, at the fence, so he goes to second base. He doesn't know that the ball bounced back to the first baseman. He throws to second, looks like he's out easily, and gets past the shortstop. I don't know. But he'll get to second base on the E6. There was at least like a couple occasions where an error could have been made, but we're just going to say that an error was made. It moved Theron to second. It's an error on the shortstop. Will Schaefer. First pitch is a ball 1 that's outside. And the 1-0. Hard hit ball. Gets past the glove of the third baseman, Cole Nelson. Theron's running around third. Oh no, the ball gets away from the left fielder, Mason Kim, and Theron stops at third.
You don't know that, though. That's right.
Runners on the corners with 2 outs for the designated hitter Aaron Lampinen, who's 0 for 1. It was walked and got out on a fielder's choice in the first inning, then struck out swinging back in the third. And Lake Stevens, their next few games are not going to be easy as well. First pitch, a foul liner past the third baseline for an 0-1 count. For Lake Stevens, their next game is going to be on March 20th, on Tuesday, March 20th, as the Vikings will play another Wesco 3A South opponent, the Linwood Royals. The next day, on the 21st, they'll be facing the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. Both games will be at home. Next pitch, a hard hit ball. Fly ball to center field towards Parker Cumberland. And he will make the catch, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. It'll be no runs on 2 hits. 1 error and 2 runners left on. It is still a 9-1. Meadowdale lead over Lake Stevens as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. Jacob Gordon coming back on the mound, facing a 9-1-2 of Kier Schaefer and Parker Cumberland. Again, 9-1, Meadowdale over Lake Stevens. We are now back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Meadowdale getting out of a getting out of a jam in the top of the inning that left runners on the corners. They're now going to have a chance to score double digits here with Jacob Gordon on the mound facing the catcher Johnny Kerr, with the first pitch being outside for a ball 1. The 0-1 pitch, ball 2, that one goes outside. Kerr is 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the first inning. He was the second batter that Theron Perkins faced. That fell just past the reach of the shortstop Hunter Zalesko, and then is out on a bunt attempt as the ball was caught by the pitcher Theron Perkins. Next pitch, 2-0 pitch, is a strike one right down the middle. The 2-1 pitch, it'll be a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 2. The 2-2 pitch by Gordon, ground ball, gets in and out of the glove of the first baseman Will Wentz, and he is able to touch the first base bag to get the first out of the 5th inning. Now bring us back to the top of the order. There's shortstop Will Schaefer, who is 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a couple runs. And the first pitch by Snake, foul tip. For an 0-1 count. Will Schaefer, he hit a ball that was laced just past the shortstop Hunter Zalesko to lead off the bottom of the first inning. And then he hit a fly ball to the center fielder Bryce Mefford to end the bottom of the first inning. He later got on base on an error by the shortstop Zalesko that ended Theron's night. 0-1 pitch goes under the strike zone for a ball 1. And he later scored the 1-1 pitch. That is a, never looks like it might go into foul territory, and it will. It goes just right past the first base line. It was Will Wentz, it was Tanner Lind, and it was Hunter Zalesko, who are all running for it. It'll be a foul ball, 1 ball, and 2 strikes.
What's a little bit north of the street? You can't get anything. I could go and text you if you want to head away. I know we're not going to have
And Jacob, the 1-2 pitch, a hard hit ball, laced to left field. Pizer going back, that goes, hits the fence again. That was at least the third time that a ball has been hit by a Mavs player that almost went out. That'll be a 1-out stand-up double for Will Schaefer. It'll be Parker Cumberland, the freshman, coming up for the Mavs. He is 1 for 3 with a 2-run double in the 3rd inning. It was a pitch he was leaning for that the runners were going, the runners on 2nd and 3rd. But before that, he struck out swinging in both the 1st and 2nd innings. And Jacob, the first pitch upstairs, ball 1. And Jacob looking over at second. A ball that he is lacing for. A nice snag by the shortstop Theron Perkins, and he throws to first. It will move Schaefer to third base. And he'll get the second out of the 5th inning. Here is Cutter Boucher. He is 0 for 1 officially on the afternoon, but he got hit a couple of times back in the 1st and 2nd inning. And he later scored in the 1st inning. He also got a stolen base in the process. And the pitch outside for a ball 1. And Snake, the next pitch, a lace ball, goes straight to the shortstop, Theron Perkins. That was a fast short liner. And that'll end the threat. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, one runner left on. It is still a 9-1 Meadowdale game as we go into the top of the 6th inning. Nate Monias coming back onto the mound, facing Tanner Lind, Hunter Zalesko, and Bryce Mefford in the top of the 6th inning, 9-1 Meadowdale. We are now back into the top of the 6th inning. Lake Stevens trailing Meadowdale 9-1. With Nate Monias facing the right fielder Tanner Lind. First pitch, a ball 1 on the outside. Tanner Lind, he is 0 for 2 coming into this game. He is 0 for 2 now. The 1-0 pitch outside for a ball 2. Here are the next games for the Lake Stevens Vikings. They're going to be playing their next 5 games at home. Technically 4.5, but the next 5 times they're coming. Next 5 times they're playing at home. The 2-0 pitch is playable in foul territory, and It'll fall on top of the Meadowdale dugout. The third baseman, Cole Nelson, trying to get that one to no avail. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the next games we have on March 20th is the Vikings playing against another Wesco 3A South opponent. That is the Linwood Royals, coming off a pretty decent season with a really good player in Kyler McMahon leaving for Oregon State. Next pitch from Monias, a laced ball. That one goes into center field. Tanner Lind, his first hit of his varsity career, a leadoff shot to center field that lands right in front of Parker Cumberland to start off the 6th inning. It brings up the sophomore, Hunter Zalesko, who is 1 for 2 with a bunt single and a slow liner to the shortstop, Will Schaefer. Throw to first, not in time. And after that, they're going to be playing against Edmonds Woodway at home. Originally, it was going to be on, April 4th? Timeout, and it's a balk by Monias, and Lynn goes to second. And that will move Tanner in the scoring position. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Hunter Zalesko with a chance to get his 3rd RBI of the year. First pitch by Monias. Hard hit shot. That one's going in the right field. Back goes Mason Vaughn, and he will make the catch. Tanner going back to second base. And that was a chance for Tanner to go to third if he had it. But Tanner will stay at second base, and it will be 1 out for Bryce Mefford. Timeout by Meadowdale. Johnny Keir going to the mound.
Good job, boys. Let's go now.
As they'll be playing against Edmonds Woodway, and then they'll be playing their usual Saturday game against Central Kitsap. Monias looking at second. First pitch, bunts for it, goes past the third base side, picked up by Monias, throws to first and gets him out for the second out. It'll be a sacrifice bunt for Bryce Mefford. It'll bring up the pinch hitter for Tommy Lindgren, number 17, Ethan Jansen. He was a pinch hitter for Theron Perkins, where he has no official at bat. Or no, my mistake. Ethan Jansen, he has 0 for 1 this season. Struck out looking back in the 6th inning off of Jordan Justice against Marysville Pilchuck. There is activity in the bullpen for Meadowdale. That is number 6, Aaron Chester. First pitch, a foul tip to Jansen. So it'll be March 20th at home against Linwood, March 21st at home against Edmonds Woodway, March 24th on Saturday at home against Central Kitsap. They'll be continuing their game against Arlington on the 26th. This one a short liner. It'll be a slow roller, a barehanded grab, but the second baseman, Boucher, who can't get there. Tanner will score, and the Vikings will get another run. It's now 9-2. There'll be an error on the second baseman, Cutter Boucher, as the ball gets past the first baseman. And the score is now 9-2. Meadowdale over the Vikings. It'll go back to the top of the order. It'll take Monias out of the game. It'll bring in number 6, Aaron Chester, with a runner on first base, and a run that just scored. Meadowdale 9, Lake Stevens 2 in the top of the 6th inning. Bill Hummel going to talk to the home plate umpire as we'll take a quick break. Meadowdale 9, Lake Stevens 2 in the top of the 6th inning. A new pitcher on the hill for the Mavs. We are now back in the top of the 6th inning. Lake Stevens, to Bill Hummel at least, it looks like they're threatening to get some runs on the board as he takes Nate Monias out of the game and brings in number 6, Aaron Chester, who will be facing the top of the order in Ben Pizer, who is 0 for 3. First pitch is a ball 1. Nate Monias, 2 2/3, 4 hits, currently 1 run, 1 unearned run, but he is responsible for Ethan Jansen at first base. No walks and no strikeouts on 34 pitches. The next pitch by Chester, outside, ball 2. And the 2-0 pitch, chopper. This one going to the second baseman. Tosses it to first. Does he get him? No, he doesn't. It'll be an infield single as it'll be a slow roller to the second baseman, Cutter Boucher. As there are now runners on first and second for Theron Perkins. Theron, since replacing Christian LaPierre at the number 2 spot, is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. First pitch goes under the strike zone for a ball 1. And Aaron Chester throws to second. He gets him at second base.
Let's go out.
As Tommy Lindgren, it takes a second for him to get back to second base and has another runner picked off from second to end the inning. It is 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 guy left on. Another run will get on the board as we go into the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Meadowdale 9, Lake Stevens 2. As it'll be number 16, Devin McWaters, who will come up to the mound for the Lake Stevens Vikings in the bottom of the 6th inning, facing the middle of the order in Tommy Dimmick, Mason Vaughn, and Cole Nelson. We are now back in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lake Stevens bringing in a new pitcher in sophomore Devin McWaters. First pitch to Tommy Dimmick is inside for a ball 1. Devin McWaters replacing Jacob Gordon, who finished 2 2/3 with 4 hits and no earned runs. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Gordon, no balls and 3 strikeouts on 45 pitches to finish his day. And the 1-1 pitch from the sophomore, outside for a ball 2. Devin McWaters wearing the jersey number 16. That is actually something I just realized too. Devin McWaters is no joke the first person in the 7 years I've been broadcasting Lake Stevens that has worn the jersey number 16. Not only for Lake Stevens, for high school baseball in general. Next pitch is low for a ball 3. And with the appearance of Devin McWaters, the 3-1 swing and a miss, strike 2. And with the appearance of Devin McWaters proving the point of non-conference play, especially for Wesco 4A teams, given the opportunity for players to try, to try out in the varsity level. And the payoff pitch goes inside for a ball 4, and Tommy Dimmick will be walked in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll once again bring up Mason Vaughn, who is 2 for 3 with a run scored. He hit a single back in the first inning and later scored on Cole Nelson's 3-run home run. He struck out swinging back in the second inning, and he hit a single in the 4th inning, but was gunned down by the laser that was Tanner Lynn's arm. And he threw it to second base for the first out of the fourth inning. First pitch outside for a ball 1. And McWaters to throw, low for a ball 2. Tommy Lindgren looking over at first base towards Will Wentz, towards where Will Wentz is and where Tommy Dimmick is attempting to steal. And the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. McWaters looking over at first base, the 2-1. It'll be a slow grounder. And I guess past the third base side. Foul ball for 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Devin looking over at first base. And the 2-2 pitch from McWaters, a hard hit ball, a golf shot to left center field. Medford running for it, Pizer running for it, and a nice running catch by the left fielder, Ben Pizer, for the first out of the 6th inning. And Tommy Dimmick moving back to first base. And it brings up the third baseman, Cole Nelson, who was 1 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts apart from that 3-run home run. The first pitch from McWaters goes low for a ball 1, in and out of the glove of the catcher, Tommy Lindgren. The rest of the non-conference schedule may be tough for Lake Stevens. They're going to have to start conference play. It's very similar to last year. They're going to start with 2 games against Cascade, a 1-hopper to Lindgren. Dimmick going to second base on the wild pitch. And Meadowdale, with a chance to get their 10th run of the game, it is in scoring position. It is a ball 2 for a 2-0 count. As Lake Stevens are going to be starting their conference play pretty soon on March 28th, so they have less than a couple of weeks to get that started. Next pitch, a foul ball that goes out of play for a 2-1 count. They're going to have to start with a couple of games against Cascade, who I predicted to actually be better than what they finished last season. Last season they finished with the final seed in the postseason play. And the 2-1 pitch will be a quick chopper to the first baseman, Will Wentz. It'll move Dimmick to third base, and that'll bring up the number 7 hitter, first baseman Anthony Toyne, with a runner on third base. Toyne is 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. And Meadowdale, considering this is their first game, I don't really see a problem in them trying this out. They have they have Alan Pave's daughter as the ball girl for Meadowdale. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. The windup by McWaters goes inside for a ball 1. McWaters is going to be a number of players that we have seen that Josh White has moved from varsity to Lakes to JV over the first few games of the year. This one, a foul ball. Maybe a foul ball for a 1-2 count. I had a chance at catching that.
Go, Dev.
Oregon?
Yeah. I think it said somebody from here was going to Oregon.
I didn't say anything about going to Oregon.
Oh, somebody else?
Somebody else?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about
Somebody else told me some kid on here was going to Oregon.
I didn't hear anything about that. The next pitch, a foul tip for a 1-2 count. Anthony Toyne will be Anthony Toyne fighting in this at bat, getting a couple foul tips. 1-2 pitch, that's another foul ball that is laced off of the batting cages over the fence in the third base side for a 1-2 count. Now, at this point, I wouldn't feel good if I was any other West Coast 3A South opponent and found out that Meadowdale, on their first game of the year, with 2 freshmen in their lineup, is hitting with power like this. Pitch, fly ball, that's another foul. The 1-2 count, because I'm pretty sure if they had the same amount of power last year, they would not have gone 8-11. They would have had double-digit wins at least. So this is a team that I think is going to go under the radar for the West Coast 3A South. This is their first game. Again, 2 freshmen on their lineup. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will end the 6th inning. No runs on 1 hit. Sorry, no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 guy left on for Devin McWaters. A pretty good inning so far for his first varsity appearance. We go into the top of the 7th inning. Lake Stevens with 1 final chance. They are down by 7 runs. They'll be facing the 2-3 and we bring it up the 2, 3, and 4 batters to face off against Aaron Chester in the top of the 7th inning. And we are now back in the top of the 7th inning. Lake Stevens trailing Meadowdale by 7 runs. That's how many runs they need to tie this game, and they need 8 runs to take the lead before they are ever to try and prevent getting blown away by Meadowdale. The first pitch from Aaron Chester to Theron Perkins is under the strike zone for a ball 1. Theron is 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Foul tip for a 1-1 count. It'll be a 2, 3, and 4 for Theron Perkins, Connor Bardou, and Will Wentz. We are getting to the more experienced players in the lineup. The 1-1 pitch is outside for a ball 2.
You're just the base runner now, bud. Here you go. Meaningful at bats, boys. I'm out.
And Aaron Chester, the 2-1. And that is ball 3 outside, gets past the catcher, Johnny Kier, for a ball 3. Theron ahead of the count here. The payoff pitch, the 3-1 pitch. Why did I say payoff pitch? No, it's 3-1 pitch under the strike zone for a ball 4. Theron, it was right in the middle of the at-bat in the last inning where he picked off Ethan Jansen at second base. And now with a runner on first, here comes Connor Bardou, who is 0 for 1 on the afternoon with a couple of walks. And Connor Bardou, he got on base on a couple of walks. And the first pitch is a strike 1, looking right down the middle. The throw to first, not in time, and it goes over to the head of the first baseman, Anthony Toyne, but he was able to get it. And Theron is safe at first base. Aaron Chester, next pitch, foul tip. That is something we've also seen from Meadowdale as well. That's a thing that other other teams that are facing Meadowdale need to look at too. Their pitching keeps control of the base runners when there are base runners on, which is something they need to look at too. Throw to first, not in time. And the 0-2 pitch is a ball 1. It goes outside, and Kier immediately throws to first base. Is that no matter if it's at first base or second base, because rarely we have any base runners from the Vikings go to third base, that's what Lake Stevens, that's what Meadowdale's doing. They're taking control. They're taking control of the base running, because that's one thing that Lake Stevens has been doing pretty good in the past couple of years. Next pitch is a foul tip, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with who. That's the thing. It doesn't matter with who is on the mound for Meadowdale. They're just going to control it. The 1-2 pitch. One hopper gets past Kier, and Theron's going to go to second base on the wild pitch. Ball 2. All right. Dimmick getting the sign from Johnny Kier. And the 2-2 pitch. Line drive ball. That is going to go into right center field. Theron is rounding around third base. The throw to the first baseman will take a bad hop, and it'll be an RBI single for Connor Bardew. Is now a 9-3 ball game. Now bring up Will Wentz, who is 2 for 3. It is Connor's 4th hit of the season and his 4th RBI of the year. He now leads the team with 4 ribbies. Will Wentz, he is 2 for 3 with 2 singles in the 3rd inning and the 5th inning. It was stranded at first base on both occasions. First pitch is strike 1 looking, and he struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Pitch by Chester outside, ball 1. Currently no one warming up in the bullpen for Meadowdale. Chester the pitch. Ground ball. This gets into the glove of the third baseman, who throws to second base and will get Connor in time at second for the fielder's choice. Gets into the glove of the third baseman, Cole Nelson, who throws it to second. Is not able to throw to first for the double play, as Will Wentz will be safe at first base. And here is Aaron Lampinen, who is 0 for 2. And the first pitch by Aaron Chester, low for a ball 1. And Chester at the first with the 1-0 pitch, a strike 1 looking right down the middle. And the 1-1 by Chester. Strike 2 looking right down the middle. Aaron Chester going ahead of the count. On the designated hitter, the 1-2 ground ball. This gets into the glove of the third baseman, Nelson, and it gets out of it. Aaron Lampinen is safe at first on an error by the freshman third baseman. Will Wentz will go to second base. And it'll bring up Tanner Lind. Who is 1 for 3 this afternoon with a single. A balk moved him to second, and he later scores. And there will be a pinch runner for Aaron Lampinen, and that will be number 12, Justin Troya. And the first pitch from Aaron Chester to Tanner Lind. Outside for a ball 1. And the 1-0, foul tip. And it goes over the netting. And the 1-1 pitch by Aaron Chester inside for a ball 2.
What is that? 20.
You can't help but think that's funny. Come on. And the 1-2 pitch. And the 1-2 pitch. The 2-1 pitch will go to the second baseman, Cutter Boucher. who will toss it to shortstop Will Schaefer to get Justin Troya out at second base. It'll move Will Wentz to third. And Lake Stevens has runners on the corners for the sophomore Hunter Zalesko. Lake Stevens, they are down by 6 runs, and they need to score 6 runs with 2 outs in the 7th inning. First pitch, ball 1.
7 down, 3 plus 1. 22. Come on.
And the 1-0 pitch goes under the strike zone for a ball 2.
Here you go, Hunter. Remember, shot kid, all you. That's been great.
The 2-0 pitch by Chester. Strike 1 looking.
Come on. It's all right.
And the 2-1 pitch inside for a ball 3. There'll be 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch, low for a ball 4, and it is bases loaded. There will be a pinch hitter. There'll be a pinch hitter for Bryce Mefford at the 8 spot, and that is number 28, Tate Brust, making his first varsity at-bat. Timeout by Meadowdale. Bill Hummel going to the mound to talk to Aaron Chester. We'll take a quick break here at the top of the 7th inning. It is Meadowdale 9, Lake Stevens 3, with the bases loaded with 2 outs for Tate Brust. And we are now back at the top of the 7th inning. Lake Stevens facing 2 outs. They are down by 6 runs with the bases loaded. Aaron Chester facing off against Tate Brust. First pitch is upstairs for a ball 1. Tate Brust, who will be batting for the center fielder Bryce Mefford. And the 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Now this is one of those moments that could be game-changing. 2-0. Strike 1 looking. Going for the 2-1 count. Now, this is one of those moments in the game where it can be game-changing. Pinch hitter, bases loaded, 2 outs, down by 6 runs. This is one of those reasons why someone has to love baseball. Anything can happen. The 2-1 pitch, a strike 2 looking. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tate Brust facing 1 final strike. 1 more strike could end the game, the 2-2. A fly ball, that's going to go foul. As it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Chester, the throw. Upstairs, ball 3, full count. Now this just makes this more interesting. It's a full count, bases loaded, 2 outs, pinch hitter. It can't get any more random than this. The payoff pitch. It is upstairs for a ball 4, and another run will score. Ball 4. The score now, Lake Stevens is Meadowdale 9, Lake Stevens 4, Tate Brust with an RBI walk. Will Wentz will score. Tanner moves to third. Hunter moves to second. It'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Tommy Lindgren. First pitch. Strike 1 looking. As Tommy Lindgren, he'll be coming back up after Ethan Jansen pinch hit for him back in the 6th inning. The 0-1. Foul tip for an 0-2 count. Once again, Lake Stevens facing another strike.
Be aggressive, kid. Be aggressive.
Now this time it'll be Tommy Lindgren. He's facing a 2-strike count. The 0-2 pitch, line drive ball. It gets it in and out of the glove of the shortstop. And the shortstop, Will Schaefer, tosses it to the second baseman, Cutter Boucher, who gets his foot on the bag just in time. To get Tate Brust out at second, and that will be the end of the game. The final score, Meadowdale 9, Lake Stevens 4. Meadowdale getting their first win of the season in their first game of the season, while Lake Stevens, they're still searching for their first win as they fall down to 0-2. Their next game will be against the Linwood Royals, which will be next Tuesday, March 20th. The winning pitcher for Meadowdale, it'll be Tommy Dimmick, and the losing pitcher will be Christian Lapierre, who falls to 0-1. So again, the final score, it is Meadowdale getting 9 runs off of 13 hits, allowing 1 error from Lake Stevens and leaving 7 runners on, while for Lake Stevens, they have scored 4 runs on 8 hits, allowing 5 Meadowdale errors and leaving 11 runners on. The next game for both these teams, Lake Stevens will be playing at home, the first of 5 consecutive home games. This one against the Linwood Royals on March 20th, while the Meadowdale Mavericks will be facing off on March 21st on the road of North and Skagit County against the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. My name is Payne Patrick. You've been listening to Lake Stevens Vikings Varsity Baseball, and we'll see you next Tuesday back at Lake Stevens High School.